Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well. From wherever you're watching this channel, I'd like us to dive into some growing conversation about the move that Sitam Valley Road branch did when it intentionally decided not to help the Gen Zs who were seeking refuge in that church. So what is happening here is that there's an allegation that on the day of peaceful protest, things had gotten messy. So Gen Zs wanted to seek refuge in Sitam Church. Ndio watoke probably when things have cooled down. But I understand they were denied that access. So let me take you through a conversation here about that issue. Someone by the name Kingpin shared something and says Sitam Valley Road branch decided kuwafungia nje the peaceful Gen Z's protesters wenye walikuwa wanataka kuwa stay hapo till morning because outside was filled with goons and also rapists. Most ladies wali get raped na men pia wali get robbed. Injection from X-strips. Thread below. So this is something that was started as a conversation. This conversation started as a revelation about the move that Sitam took to deny Gen Zs who were seeking refuge there because things had started getting messy, raping, people being mugged. So what they did, they were running to try to look for any shelter, ndio wajifiche pale, so that the goons can pass, but they refused. Based on these stories that Sitam refused to allow them in. So I'd like us to continue this conversation about what is happening here because looks like from what I'm seeing here, ni kama people are not happy. So I will take you through some reactions here about the matter. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you for always supporting this channel by always liking and subscribing to this channel. That means a lot to the channel. So for any of you who've not subscribed, please take this opportunity and subscribe to our channel. And also don't forget to like. Thank you so much. Now let's continue with this conversation. Sitam wamejikuta pabaya hapa. Someone by the name Yoko, Yoko, I think in the ile Kibet Bull, and he says cash is the answer ministry. So that is the name according to him. Sitam is cash is the answer ministry. And then watu hudhani sisi ni wajinga tukisema I left church but I did not leave God. Sitam just proved us right. Okay. Let's continue with another reaction here. Horuz says, Sitam is a business entity, not a place of spiritual ascendance and conscious awakening. They made 2.5 billion in 2024. Sitam Valley Road made cash 404 million alone. That should tell you everything. Kesh says, kutoka kesho mwambie wazazi Sitam ni ya devil worshippers and don't post on Facebook. Okay. Let me just go through another one here. Okay. Sholad Ad say Sitam mission, bringing souls to Christ if the M-Pesa goes through. Okay, fine. Remember, this matter is all about Gen Zs who wanted refuge, to seek refuge in Sitam Church, lakini Sitam wakakataa, waka force kukimbia kwa areas zingine ambazo wengine walikuwa mugged, wengine wali end up kuwa raped according to the story. So people are not happy because of that move. So someone with the name again Kimpin says, yeah, a guy who raped ladies who was stranded after being turned off by Sitam. Church says Sunday tuko Sitam, Bishop atashangaa mbona waumini hawaimbi na hawatoi sadaka. Okay. Sitam isn't a church, it's a clubhouse for the comfortable, a place where the middle class gather to sing, smile, and pretend they are not part of the problem. You know, the conversation is wide here. It's all about what the CITAM church did. Like again, there's one here. A bishop's daughter organized for women to be raped. CITAM closed its doors on women who were being raped. Kanisa pia ikumbuke Yesu alitwanga wajinga kiboko. Okay. The conversation is still growing here. Let me take you through the last four. My fight today is with CITAM Online. Amkeni maumbwa nyinyi mtuambie what kind of gospel you read that speaks to the turning away of the vulnerable in difficult times. And in the clock of night, girls were raped, people were robbed. Shame on you, CITAM. Okay, we shall not forget. So, you know, people are on, you know, CITAM's neck. What they have done, if it's true, this is what they did, really, then they did a bad thing. It's not a good thing to chase away people in need of help. What do they preach? Let me take you through the last one. I got so cooked by goons. They stole everything. Simu, jacket, viatu, belt, the cash. Tulikuwa tunajificha chini ya magari. CITAM turned us away. Nilikesha nje kwa some stage. Matatu guys walitufungulia gari tulale at around 2-3 am. Nimefika Thika while ago. Typing is on my PC. So I think what this person is trying to say is that CITAM turned them away, but Matatu guys accommodated them. So who between the two is godly? That's a very important conversation there, ladies and gentlemen. So let me say this. This matter is all about the GENZs, just like I told you when I was starting this conversation. The GENZs who were looking for shelter. Na katika hali ya kutafuta shelter, kanisa ilifungwa, walifungiwa, walitolewa kwanza. In fact, si kama walitolewa, walifukuzwa pale. Lakini the conversation is a bit complicated. Ni kama walitolewa, mara ni kama walifungiwa. Lakini the truth of the matter ni kwamba they were not allowed to sleep there. But then one of the somewhere in this conversation, someone just said that CITAM chased them away, but then they got accommodated. A matatu guy accommodated them. They slept there within ndani ya matatu for like until 3 am. I don't know, until the morning. So they slept in a matatu mpaka asubuhi, and then the following day wakaenda. So the big question here between the CITAM na matatu, nani bali saidia mwenzake? Of course matatu ilisaidia huyu GENZ, you know. So what do you think about this issue? It's a very, very interesting thing that needs attention. But you know, CITAM reacted by sharing a message here. A letter was posted from Christ is the Answer Ministry, CITAM, and it says, I'm just going to read 2 paragraphs. As Christ is the Answer Ministry, we firmly applaud the sanctity of life and categorically oppose all forms of violence, including the shedding of innocent blood, extrajudicial killings, rape, corruption, poor governance, and other social evils. It is our policy to unreservedly support justice, human dignity, and good governance in our nation. On 18th June, our presiding bishop issued a public statement titled Concerns over the bloodletting of the innocent in the country, where we affirmed the constitutional right of Kenya to peaceful assembly and express their grievances through picketing. Furthermore, CITAM acknowledges and respects the participation of its members in demonstrations held yesterday, 25th June 2025, in memory of those who lost their lives during last year's protest against 2024 finance bill. We have noted with concern allegations circulating on social media platform X claiming that demonstrators seeking refuge were turned away by security personnel at Sitam Valley Road, one of our assemblies In response, we wish to clarify the following. Based on our security records and a thorough review of CCTV footage, there is no evidence that any person approached the premises seeking refuge on that said date. Therefore, no individual was denied entry. 2. We received calls by people who wanted help, and we directed them to Sitam Valley Road. We were ready for them throughout until 1:30 a.m. and no one came for help. Sitam Valley Road was not easily accessible during the protests, as surrounding roads were barricaded, which made it almost impossible for a demonstrator to get to Sitam Valley Road. It is our policy and practice that the doors of all our Sitam assemblies remain open to anyone in need for help. We regularly assist members of the public in times of crisis without discrimination. We have our track record in humanitarian and disaster response through our social action and advocacy department and our local assemblies. CITAM has consistently responded to emergencies and national crises, including the Embakasi fire tragedy, the Mau flood disaster, and drought relief efforts in various regions of the country. It is within our mandate, policy, and practice to embrace the vulnerable and needy in our society. We deeply value the lives and dignity of all Kenyans. As a church, we remain committed to being salt and light in the nation, guided by the teachings and compassion of our Lord Jesus Christ. We stand with all Kenyans for truth, justice, and unity as we work towards a more just and peaceful society. Yours sincerely, Reverend Justus Mugambi, Deputy Bishop, Christ is the Answer Ministry, CITAM. So this is what was issued as a response to that growing conversation about the move by CITAM to block people who wanted to seek refuge at the CITAM premise. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this response from CITAM about the accusations? They have talked about reviewing CCTVs, said no one was there who needed their help. They've even talked about roads leading to CITAM as being barricaded, so there was no way people would access that place. So, in other words, CITAM wanasema kwamba what's happening on the social media right now, conversation about CITAM, is total lies. I mean, that is what the message they are trying to tell us here. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this conversation about CITAM. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.